everybody. We have a long weekend coming up, and I have big plans for this weekend. I'm going to make a wonderful breakfast every morning, and this is one of the breakfasts I want to share with you. You know, we all love our traditional breakfast of bacon and eggs and biscuits or sausage or ham. Well, we're going to do that, but we're going to make it in a non-traditional way. We're going to create a breakfast pizza. And all you will need for this are the same items that you would make a breakfast like this without making it as a pizza. You can use Bisquick, and I chose Bisquick mix because I did not want to use a pizza crust, and it tastes too much like a dinner or lunch pizza. So we have our Bisquick mix. We're going to use cheese, and you can choose any cheese you like. I chose Colby Jack. You can use sausage. You can use Canadian bacon. You can use bacon. You can use whatever meats you usually love for breakfast. I'm going to use a mild country sausage. And you will want eggs. If you're an egg person, you can use eggs. You cannot use eggs. It's totally up to you. And then we're going to top it with items you would use, say, in an omelet. So I'm choosing new onions. You can use scallions. You can use red onion if you really like that onion taste. You can use peppers. You might even use mushrooms. Think about if you were making an omelet, what would you put in it? And then we're going to combine all of these items and make a delicious breakfast pizza. The first thing I'm going to do is chop my vegetables. I'm going to use about a half of a pepper. You can use red, green, or yellow, doesn't matter. And I'm going to cut maybe 1 or 2 stalks of new onion. Now these vegetables have already been cleaned and they're ready to go. So we're going to cut them up. I'm going to dice this pepper into small pieces. So let me get the seeds out. So now I've removed the seeds from the pepper, and I am going to julienne cut this pepper so that I can go ahead and dice it into the smallest pieces. If you are a pepper lover, you can leave them this large and cook them on your pizza. Make this pizza as personal as you want it to be. We have our peppers done, and we are going to scoot that out of the way, and I'm going to start cutting my new onion. If you want a milder flavor than this, you might use a scallion. If you like a really bold onion flavor, try a red onion on it, and you're going to have that flavor come through because you're going to be fighting the flavor of your meats and other vegetables if you decide to use them, but especially the meat, and we'll make it super flavorful. And I'm going to use some of this bright green just to add a little more interest. I am going to scoot all of these items out of our way because I'm going to get the skillet in order to cook the sausage. Now, we're going to use a pound of sausage. Now, I'm going to cook a pound, and then I will know after I have it cooked if I'm going to need that much. If you're looking for a meat lover's pizza, you can use all the sausage you want, and then you can also top it with other meats, like perhaps, like I said, bacon and Canadian bacon. If you are a ground beef lover, then feel free to use ground beef. And I'm sorry, I had a neighbor come to the door and I had to go and chat for a moment. But as I was saying, if you are a lover of ground beef, Feel free to use ground beef and just add all of your seasonings and vegetables to that. It's going to be wonderful. So I am going to chop up this pound of ground beef. I'm going to chop up this pound of pork, and like I said, I'm using the mild pork sausage, but they of course make the hot. If you are into spicy foods, spice it up. The more you have on this pizza that you enjoy, the more you're going to love it. I'm going to cook my pork sausage in this electric skillet, and I'm going to add my vegetables while I'm cooking it. Now, if you like your vegetables to be a little more crunchy, then wait till later in the process before you put it in the oven, which reminds me, you need to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. While that's cooking, let's make our biscuit dough or pizza dough, and we're going to use this pre-measured Bisquick packet. You can buy it in the box, but this is just as easy. And we take the package, put this in a bowl, and then we're going to add a half a cup of water and stir. Doesn't get much easier. If you have young children in your family, this is when it starts getting really fun. They love this part. Here's our crust ready to go on the pan, and if you have a very large pizza pan, you might want to double the Bisquick recipe, or if you just like a really thick crust, I would suggest doubling it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lightly oil our pizza pan. I'm using just a touch of vegetable oil, and I'm just going to wipe it around because I don't want the dough to get too oily, because remember, we have that sausage on top. I'm just working this dough to the edge of the pan, and maybe it'll look really pretty when we're finished. And I try to work from the inside out and then crimp it at the edges. I'm not going to go over the top of the pan because I don't want it to burn. But if you like a really crunchy crust, then roll it over the edge of the pan and allow that to happen. Now let's take our pizza dough and put it in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes just to let it start cooking before we add all of the ingredients. I left this in a full 10 minutes, and you see it's starting to get nice and brown, so it's going to be a crunchy crust. And while that is cooling just a bit, we're going to crack 1 egg and scramble it. I'm going to take this over to the stove and cook it. We have our toasted, crunchy crust, and we have our sausage with vegetables that it's already been cooked. And I have this on a paper plate with paper towels because I'm trying to remove as much of the grease as possible on this. And I'm simply going to put this on top of the pizza dough or crust. Now it's a crust. So I'm simply putting this on top of the crust. And you can see all of the oil that's out of that. And the reason I'm doing this is because I do not want a really soggy pizza. We're going to use our lightly scrambled eggs. You don't want to over scramble them because they're going back in the oven. And I'm going to place this on a fourth of this pizza. And the reason I am doing this is because I'm going to make this pizza several different ways in one pizza to show you how versatile this recipe can be. So now we have our sausage and eggs. I'm going to put some cheese over the top. And you can be really generous with this cheese. Whoa. That's a bit much. Now remember, I have scrambled eggs on this fourth. I'm going to take another egg, and on this fourth of the pizza, I'm going to crack it on top because it's going to be an over easy egg. Right there. We hope it stays in place. And then this half is going to be without egg because not everyone wants egg on their pizza. So I have cracked that egg and I'm ready to go. We're going to put it in for 10 more minutes. Now I have 10 minutes on the crust and we're going to put it in for 10 more minutes. However, I'm going to watch it carefully because I don't want it to overcook. We're going to see if that 10 minutes cooks the egg and melts the cheese. Yum! This is a way to start the day. We have scrambled eggs. We have over easy, and we have some without any egg at all. And it's perfect with a fruit salad. Just dig in. I've got to have a piece of watermelon. Let's get another. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And I think you are going to love this recipe. I know you're going to love it because it is so yummy. And your family's going to think you're incredible. So get your pizza, get your fruit salad, and get your cup of coffee. And if you're not a subscriber, please tap the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram. Bye.